rule this year, okay? So the front of this line is actually 40 feet, and then the back of this line is actually 50 feet. So the rule last year was 50 feet, okay? So you can pitch from anywhere in between this line, whether it's 40, 42, 45, 46, or 50, all the way back. If you have a pitcher that's consistently throwing it well last year at 50, I wouldn't change it because you're not really gaining advantage from being any closer. Like I said, it's just moving closer is for our younger athletes or the athletes that are having trouble getting it all the way to the plate. Okay. The pitch can be 6 feet low or 12 feet high, anywhere in between to be a strike. Okay. Now it's the umpire's discretion on how fast, if they feel that it's too fast or if it's too slow. Okay. So instead of me standing in the puddle at 50 feet, I'm going to go ahead and throw from 45, okay? So the rubber's going to be in the middle of the line, okay? We don't want it way over here, way over there. The pitcher would gain an unfair advantage, okay? So pitching, for your first time pitchers, I'd start right in the middle, okay? They have to be making contact with the rubber. Some pitchers like to start back here and they'll step into it to go, okay? And that's kind of how I would be. I'd be a little bit off to the side, almost straddling the rubber, where the ball of my foot is cut on the off of the front, and the ball of my foot is on the left. Because I'm right-handed, I'm going to throw with my left foot forward. Okay. Another advantage of having this stripe all the way here is you can tell where your pitcher's foot is throwing. Okay. If that makes any sense at all. Okay, if your pitcher is having trouble, they keep throwing it to one of the sides, look down at their feet. If they're stepping this way, chances are they're going to throw this way. If they're stepping this way, chances are they're going to throw this way. Okay, does that make sense? There is an exception. If you throw this way, sometimes you'll lose control and throw it this way. But if they're having trouble throwing strikes, look down at their feet, and I bet they're not on this line. Okay? So that's as easy as it is. So I'm splitting the rubber right here. I always sell the 4-seam grip when I pitch. There's different ways to hold the ball, different spins and stuff like that. If you type it in online, they'll show you different screwballs and all that. To me, it's underhand softball. It's not going to do that much. All right? Some people will flip it this way because they think the spin will cause a ground ball. That's whatever. I think you're going to have a harder time for a pitcher to throw it underhand or backwards this way. I would teach them always to throw it this way, and you're going to have your thumbs in the air to the fingers up, okay? Just like bowling, Special Olympics' favorite sport, bowling, right? Just like bowling, except for we're going up, okay? So here it is. I'm here, I'm up, and that was pretty close. Does that make sense to everyone?
Oh wow, no, it's weird.
It's very simple, okay? A lot of people think they overthink it, they try to do too much. We got those from Walmart right back there. It's about $5. It's a little bucket. It gives them something to throw to. All right. A lot of them will have trouble visualizing that plate, even seeing it, knowing which distance they're going to throw to. Pitching is all about repetition. Even at baseball, any level, it's all about your mechanics and how you can complete it over and over and over. Okay. A couple of keys. If your pitcher is advanced and is doing great doing that, you can move on this rubber to one side or the other, and it will provide whether the ball is coming at the hitter if I'm over here, or it will come at the hitter if I'm over here. Okay? Stand as far as you can on one side of the rubber, and we step and we throw. Okay? Because this rubber is the same width as the plate. So if you're on this side of the rubber, you're basically standing in the right-handed batter's box. If you're on this side, you're basically standing on the left-handed batter's box. Does that make sense to everyone?
No.
If you go watch those, old guys that think they're really good, a lot of them will pitch like this. They like step way to the side, right? One way or another, okay? If I'm right-handed and I'm throwing it this way, I'm throwing it from behind the batter. It's really hard to hit, all right? But I would start all of your pitchers in the middle of the rubber to start, okay? So we're here, up, flipping it in. Do you have anything to add?
Just to hit on the point, it's all repetition. The more you practice, the better you're going to get at it. And whenever you're playing catch, that's why we emphasize hitting each other in the chest, because you're working on throwing to a spot. Okay, whenever you're practicing, it's free time. You don't have any competition, so work on as if it's a game. Okay, whenever you're playing catch, really focus on hitting your target. It's the same thing as pitching. if I'm in a game and I've never done it, you're probably going to be inconsistent, right? Maybe throw a lot of balls. But if you practiced it a bunch, just like you envision a hitter was up there, you're probably going to throw more strikes. So it's all repetition. It can get boring, but it's all repetition.
And Tyler touched on a good point. It is good to have a hitter step in because it is completely different. A lot of times, instead of looking at the catcher's target, they'll look at the hitter, and then they'll tend to throw at the hitter. Enforce the fact that they need to look at the catcher's glove. Or if you pick out the plate, if that's what they've been looking at, look at a plate, okay? The more their eyes move, the more your mechanics are going to move and the worse your throw is going to be. Pick out a spot and throw it to that spot, okay? Another good drill, if you have a fence, you can put a line 6 feet high and 12 feet high. And what I would do is you stand, if you're going to throw from 40 feet, stand at 20 feet, and your pitcher is going to do the same motion, and they are aiming in between that line, okay? Because that's the halfway point. So you're at your 6 feet and your 12 feet. So I'd really put 3 and have them aim for that middle line over and over again, okay? Does that make sense? There's also, and this is really hard to find, but if you can find a fence that's 6 feet high, or even 7 feet, 8 feet, put that in the middle of between the pitcher and the catcher. The catcher will still have that target. That's why they need to be able to see through the fence. And they're basically going to pitch, but to get it there, they have to get it up and over that fence. Okay? Does that make sense? Pretty simple stuff, pretty easy. I would start my pitcher, like I said, if he's been comfortable or she's been comfortable throwing from wherever, I would start him there. But I really, every practice would kind of start in and work my way back farther and farther. One, you're going to build up a little more strength from here. Like I said, I would always finish with your spot, wherever your spot is, and I would do so many in a row, and making it in that bucket or making it to the catcher's mitt in that right spot. Any questions on pitching at all?
Can I get that ball?
All right, you want to see me do it again?
No! I want to play
She wants to play.
I want to play ball!
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start from here, okay? A lot of pitchers, whatever's comfortable. This is just like shooting a free throw in basketball. If your pitcher goes 1, 2, and then come set, that's what they need to do every time. 1, 2, come set, and then go. Okay? Whatever gets in that pattern. So they come set, and they go. I'm weak. All right?
You do!
Practice over and over, okay? I would at least practice with 2 and probably 3 pitchers, because 1, you don't know if someone's going to get hurt, get sick. You don't want to be that team at state that has someone that's never pitched before, okay? Just make sure you practice.